Key capital spending allocations in the 2018 budget include the following.
What is important here is to understand that there's what we call the absorptive capacity of an economy. You're going to be spending what you're supposed to spend in 12 months in 4 months, because 4 months from today, everything is going to be shut down towards the campaign and the election. So there's going to be congestion, right, in the system. And because of that, people are prone to leakages and prone to waste at that time. So it's natural that a president will be frustrated at this, but that's part of it, comes with the territory. But the most important thing is to ask yourself, what was promised last year? Because it's deja vu. Last year, June, May, we the same place again. What was promised last year? We promised 12.5% inflation. We ended up with about 15% inflation. We promised 2.5% growth. We ended up with 0.8% growth. We promised that we'd do 2.2 million barrels of oil. We got 1.8 million barrels of oil. We estimated that we'll get $42 a barrel. We ended up with $60 a barrel. So we're in a good place as far as revenues are concerned. So as a plan, as an estimate of expenditure and spending, the budget is perfect. But when you look at it, there were three angles to this budget. One, was it politically motivated? No, it's always politically motivated, but that wasn't the issue. It was submitted November 7, and the National Assembly has the right to look at it, but you don't need 230 days to. This thing could have been done in 1 week or 2 weeks. Secondly, is it an economically stimulative budget? No, because what you need to do to spend to move this economy forward is significantly higher than what you have today. But what you have is a prudent budget. Spend what you earn. But the importance of that and the impact of this is that it's going to be very marginal. If you look at the numbers, in 2015, we spent 4 trillion naira, and we've gone all the way to 9.1 trillion naira in 4 years. But when you look at how much inflation has eaten up of this, you have actually had almost zero growth. As a matter of fact, in dollar terms, we've gone from $30 billion in 2016 down to $25 billion in 2018. So there's actually a reduction. What have our neighbors done? South Africa has, in this period, budgeted $110 billion, where we are budgeting $25 billion. Ghana, which is, the economy of Ghana is smaller than that of Lagos, is budgeting $13 billion. Angola, $45 billion. And Ethiopia, $12 billion. But all of these countries are enjoying higher growth than Nigeria. So we need to do something that is impactful. This budget as it is not impactful. That is why the president is quickly running around to get a supplementary budget.
Analysts expressed divergent views on the process of the budget up to the final approval. There are worries that the implementation will again not be optimum, just as other budgets year after year.
See, any budget that does not come to the National Assembly by the 30th day of September of any financial year is late. Because the National Assembly will need nothing less than 90 days, 3 months, to be able to pass the budget. This year's budget came last year, November 7. Leaving just barely about 30 days for the National Assembly to look. Because December has always been a month of holidays. It's a harvest of holidays.
As provided in Section 81 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. So, and that section of the Constitution is clear. It permits and grants the authority to the National Assembly to set the manner by which those estimates of revenue and expenditure shall have to be done. In other words, the National Assembly can tinker with both the maximum and the minimum expenditure limits that are provided in the estimates, in the budget estimates. It's within its purview. See, the National Assembly is not established by the Constitution of the Federal Republic as an alternative executive arm of government. It is to do the work of making legislation. 3 words. 1, to legislate, that is lawmaking. 2, oversight functions. And 3, representation. Any other function that the National Assembly performs outside of these 3 functions are overstretching the mandate. So it is not within the purview of the National Assembly to set up an alternative budget to the budget laid before him, because I checked it. and I discovered that the National Assembly had added more than 6,000 projects. 6,000 projects of its own, which would mean that it had done the costing, it had done the conceptual framework for those projects, it has also done what is called political balancing of the projects. I don't think the National Assembly has the wherewithal to be able to do all this. There are certain technical issues that are beyond the purview of the National Assembly to look at. There are certain issues. And when it comes to building an alternative budget, such as it has done, look, it has not just inserted 6,000 of its own, more than 6,000 projects of its own. It has expunged more than 4,000 of executive budget. But in this instant case, we have an institution in which the National Assembly had turned itself into an alternative executive arm of government in rewriting the budget. I mean, you insert 6,000 projects. I mean, if you insert 6,000 projects that were not previously done, that means you would have gone to the market to do the costing. And in doing the costing, it takes nothing less than 6 months of executive preparation to be able to cost a single project, including environmental impact assessment. Did the National Assembly have the instrument to do environmental impact assessment of constructing roads, constructing bridges?
Now let's do a project impact assessment on the projects that they cut and the project that they included in the budget. Now, if you look at them side by side, you will see which one will be impactful, which one will have more effect on the people that they are supposed to be representing. So for me, I still think that they need to come out to Nigerians to explain why they did what they did, and I still haven't seen, the law that that gives them the backing to do what they have done. So that means in National Assembly now they have National Assembly Budget Office, where they sit down, scrutinize, develop projects for the entire nation. So that's how I see it. I mean, at this point in time, we've gotten to that level where we should make a move towards that direction. Just, but I like what the president did yesterday. I mean, he showed leadership by actually signing the budget, because if he didn't sign the budget, we would have entered a budget crisis where everything was shut down in this nation. So for him to have, taken the decision with his team to sign that budget, that means he has the people at heart, and then he actually wants this nation to move forward. But what he's done, just like Harry Truman, I think he's 30th president of the United States, is the buck stops at our table leadership. He has taken he has taken the decision, and then he's moving ahead. He's not blaming anybody, but also letting Nigerians know that these are the things we face. Submitting the budget 6 months later, then this is what you get. The entire budget had about 9,913 or so capital projects, and then you insert 6,400 and something projects. Whose budget is it then? It's the National Assembly that actually designed the budget as it stands right now.
Abdulrazak Damdes, the spokesman of the House of Representatives, justifies the inclusion of new projects in the 2018 budget. He explains that the framers of the Constitution envisaged that the National Assembly will make inputs which will directly affect the lives of Nigerians.
Please let us get this very clear, and I think the media should help on in doing that. The makers of the Constitution never envisaged that when a budget or a proposal is laid before the National Assembly, we should return it the way the President or the Executive brought it. If that is the case, there will be no point bringing it to the National Assembly. But the makers of this Constitution knows that there must be a second opinion, because there are elected representatives of the people. So for us to tinker with the budget is part of our duty. I am elected like any other 360 members of the House of Reps and 109 senators. We represent constituencies. We know the issues on ground. So when we are working on this budget, you need to work to ensure that every part of this country has fair share of the commonwealth of the nation. So I think some of the cuts are not done in bad faith. They are done in good faith, because there are so many constituencies, so many areas, places that if it is not the National Assembly, those who made the budget, who made the proposal to the National Assembly, really do not even think of some of these common men that are around. The budget of the National Assembly used to be 150 billion. And when we came in, 30 billion was cut off. It was 120 billion. In 2016, this same administration cut 5 billion. It was 115 billion. Nobody said anything about the cuts. And in 2017, it was 125 billion. 10 billion was added. Even today, it's 14 billion. It's true. It's 139 billion. It's still not up to 150 billion. And legislative procedure is something that needs funds. We need funds also to operate.
According to data compiled from Budget, a Nigerian civic startup, the budget implementation at the federal level commenced in January only 4 times in the past 18 years. Budget implementation cycles were completed in 2001, 2007, 2009, and 2013. In ARM Securities Limited report, Nigeria's budget implementation rates declined for 2 consecutive years, reducing 15% points from 94% in 2015 to 79% in 2016, and further slumped by 5% points to 74% in 2017. By January 30, 2018, a Transparency Index report by International Budget Partnership, IBP, stated that Nigeria has been declining in its commitment to transparency, timely release, and content of budget documents.